Hey, hey, how's it going?
Hi, it's going good. How's it going on your end?
Pretty good. Just have some friends coming over later to hang out and get some dim sum and watch a movie. So mostly just chilling for the most of the day, doing some house
Okay,
cleaning, like you normally do before
nice.
people come over.
Yeah, I know what you mean. What movie are you watching?
Not sure yet. I think we'll figure it out together.
Okay, I was trying to watch Old. I saw it on
Mm.
Netflix, and well, no spoilers, but I haven't seen a movie like that in a while. It's about the. I'm not gonna give you any spoilers, but yeah, it's
Is
it
that the
it,
one?
it yeah
Is that set on a beach?
yeah it's the
Okay.
island that makes you old.
Yeah.
It's about that, yeah. But
I
oh man, yeah, it's something else. Reminded me of that movie Snakes on a Plane, when
mm,
there's snakes on the plane and everybody's freaked out and it's so random. I mean, why are there snakes on a plane? It gave me the exact same vibe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
One movie that old reminded me of is Time Trap, which was it's a really good Netflix movie about uh, a cave where basically time moves differently within this cave.
Okay, that
So
actually sounds, yeah, more interesting. You have to see this. I mean, yeah, I'm curious. I haven't but yeah, that sounds great. It actually reminded me of Lost. Have you seen Lost?
mm, oh yeah, I'm a huge Lost fan.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, I feel you. I'm a huge Lost fan as well. I was thinking of actually like watching it. I think the fourth time.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, yeah. It's been something. I was watching it live when it appeared, and I was like, what, like a teen? And yeah, it's kind of marked my existence. Who's it directed by?
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, big fan.
yeah. I was also watching that one live and like listening to podcasts every week to try to get like the like not it wasn't really spoilers because no one knew what was going to happen. It was like fan theories on what's going to happen, and
Yeah,
that was half the fun of it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, the hype. I mean, I wish something would come out at that level nowadays, but yeah, that was like pre-internet. I mean, you still had internet, but it was like pre like so much content all over the place era. So yeah, kind of
Yeah,
I had a different
and
feel to it.
and especially since most like really good stories that are adapted to TV and movies tend to be based on books, so you can just read the book if you're curious about how that story is going to end.
Yeah.
Like there's a Silo right now on Apple TV, which is this futuristic whatever story where everyone is living in a silo. If they go outside, they die, and it's like, how did this world happen? Like, what happens when you go outside that makes you die? And my wife's I read all the books for it. My wife hasn't, so we're watching it together, and she's like giving all these theories about what she thinks happening, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's a good theory. Yeah, yeah, trying to not give any spoilers.
That's great. Yeah, I actually wanted to watch that one. Okay, I'll actually add it to my list. Didn't know it was actually like a book adaptation. I'll have to search
Yeah,
up the book as well. I'm wondering if we have it on hardcover. I mean, we must.
uh, it's called Wool is the name of the book. It was it's actually pretty interesting because the book actually started on uh, his blog. Like he was writing individual chapters, and people loved it so much that he packaged it into an ebook and sold that like straight to consumer on like the
Wow.
Kindle store. And it got so much publicity, it became like a bestseller, and then it got picked up by a publisher, and then it was turned into an Apple TV series. So all
Wow.
from his blog to an Apple TV series.
That's crazy. Yeah, what a success story.
Yeah. Well,
Really nice.
what have you been up to lately besides
Well,
watching old?
I had my parents over last week, so it was kind of intense. but good as well. Did lots of walking around, and yeah, other than that, just chilling and yeah, keeping keeping hydrated, keeping moving. I started working out. I have a bit of a sore, like everything, uh, but yeah, that's good.
What's your like workout approach?
I mainly go to the gym and watch others what they're doing, so I kind of like got my routine. It's a really nice gym because it's provided by the council over here. So if you pay your council tax in London, some councils offer you free gym on the weekends. So I'm over there with half the neighborhood. Yesterday was a bit, yeah, not so crowded, but usually it gets crowded. But it's really nice because I don't know, you can see people who are really into working out, like bodybuilders and like those kinds of people, and also like I don't know, everyone, every age range, every like yeah. So it's interesting, and yeah, I just like get a glimpse of exercises, and I just do that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw Bruce Lee's gym um, schedule on Twitter. So he had like this list of things he did on in his gym, and that was kind of nice. I was gonna look up the exercises, but yeah, they seem pretty complicated. So yeah,
Yeah.
but pretty good. It wasn't that long. I was expecting Bruce Lee to have a much longer list. It was like 10 things and like just a bunch of
Yeah.
reps.
Huh.
Well, it's maybe it's the repetition. Maybe it's the consistency.
Yeah. Like if you can, I'm sure if you can do those 10 things with massive weight perfectly, then you're probably a very well-rounded, uh, flexible person.
Yeah, exactly. Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
basically. Nice.
Yeah. One of my favorite things at my past job was they offered like weekly yoga. So they would actually have like a yoga instructor come in, and they like had one of the conference rooms where like we would all just go in and do yoga every week. Like mostly like stretching yoga wasn't like yoga that would make you sweat, but
Okay.
I realized that after just years of doing that, how much more flexible I was compared to not, just because I wasn't stretching on my own. So it was like it gave me that space and time every week to make sure I focused at least a little bit on my own stretching.
Yeah, yoga's good.
Definitely
I
recommend.
mean, yeah. I used to do it more often, but I usually do it at home, I mean, maybe once a week. But for working from home, yeah, yoga is the best. Also coupled with a little bit of meditation. I do that sometimes. Yeah, and breathing. Sometimes
Cool.
when I work, I forget to breathe, so that's like really important. I don't know if you do that as well, but I have to like remind myself. I'm sometimes like just like got in the middle of something, and I like at some point I'm just gasping, like, and I realize, oh, I forgot to breathe. That's funny.
Yeah, you're like just really into it, and
Yeah,
so do you associate that with like being in the flow of what you're working on, or does it happen
yeah,
at like
probably.
different
Yeah,
times?
maybe it's a byproduct of just like liking what I do at that specific moment or getting like really into it. I guess. Yeah, I guess that's it. Or just like I don't know, not focusing on actually breathing.
Yeah, I was trying to do like a Pomodoro stuff for a while, the like
Mm-hmm.
25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. But I ended up wanting to go much longer than 25 minutes, and like taking that intentional break was like bringing me out of my flow earlier. So I don't think I figured it out yet, but sometimes now I'll like go, an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour of just like heads
Okay.
down, like in the zone work. And then when I get out, I'm like, as soon as I like actually like put my head up from it, I realize I'm exhausted. But it's like while I'm
Well,
in it, I don't.
yeah, that's pretty good. That's a chunky Pomodoro. That's like one of the longest Pomodoros I've heard about, but it's good, whatever works. Yeah, It's funny how it works so different from for all of us,
Yeah.
including with reading. I always
Yeah.
wondered like how much I usually go like 15 minutes, at least 2 minutes break, 15 minutes, at least 2 minutes break, and after an hour I kind of like feel the need to just like take a longer break
Hmm.
or like wrap it up.
Yeah. I For me, it definitely depends on like what type of book I'm reading. Like if it's
Oh yeah,
one where
sure.
it's like I'm constantly wondering what's going to happen next, I'll end up reading like way more chapters than if it's like a nonfiction book where I'm like, okay, let's just read one chapter, let's learn one thing, and then call it there. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, some books definitely go faster than others. Right now, I'm reading Dostoevsky, and it's like the Gulag Archipelago, which is a huge like book with small writing, and it's like really intense because he details like a lot of what's been like going on. It's also gruesome, so I wouldn't like recommend it if you're. I mean, it's really tough, I guess. But yeah, I've been struggling with it for the past 2 months, and I'm just like go, and that's like 15 minutes. I have to take a break, just like look around, go like, oof.
sounds like an intense read.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty intense. I have to get, yeah, I have to get others like easier, like less like tougher ones, like mentally, I guess, for my book for my list.
Do you
Yeah.
do you have like multiple books going at once, or do you focus on like one at a time?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have multiple go. I have like three right now, and I'm struggling to finish all three. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should like just focus on one. But I usually have like one which is like longer, and then I start like others.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I have like one audiobook I'm listening to, and then like one physical book I'm reading, and I feel like I need like an audiobook, then like a nonfiction physical, and like a fiction physical. That way, I have like something like when I'm not in the mood to pick up like a nonfiction. Like right now, I'm reading a nonfiction physical book. When I'm not in the mood to pick it up, I feel like if I had like a fiction physical book, I would probably read that. But instead,
Yeah,
I'll like go online or do something that's not reading. So it's
yeah.
yeah, it's like
Ah,
yeah.
that actually sounds good. Yeah, actually, I haven't thought about it this way. I should start getting into audiobooks more.
Oh yeah, I love audiobooks. Um I think before audiobooks I wasn't even that much of a reader. Like I'd read occasionally, but it wasn't very common. And now it's like for the last couple of years I was listening to many more books than I was reading. Now it's probably starting to balance out more to 50-50. But yeah, it gives me something to listen to when I'm at the gym or out doing errands. I've I've
No,
switched from
okay,
podcasts to mostly listening to audiobooks when I'm out and about.
okay. Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should do that because I don't have like the. I mean, I have the attention span for podcasts, but sometimes I don't know. I'm not like in tune with the actual like tempo, so I just stop. So maybe with audiobooks is different. Yeah, I have some Audible credits. Maybe I should like check those out.
Yeah.
What platform do you usually use? Is it Audible or something else?
I used Audible for quite a few years. Lately, I've been using Libro.fm,
Libro. Dot.
which,
Okay, I've heard about it.
yeah, and
It's indie as
it's worked
well.
out really well.
Okay, nice. Yeah, this is very good. I'll check it
And
out.
also just a local bookstore or local library. Like we can check out audiobooks from our library, and so we
Oh,
there's a wait list. So sometimes you'll request it, and then you won't get it for like 4 months, and then you'll have 2 weeks to read it once you finally comes on available.
okay. That's actually like an interesting challenge. I should check out if there are any like libraries. There must be in London. Yeah, I'll actually look that up. Okay, that's really nice. And the 2 weeks like seems. I mean, if you have that deadline, you're I guess much more likely to actually like do it, right?
Yeah, I just had something come up And actually, the same book came up for my wife and I, because I guess we both were at a similar place in line for it. So now we're both trying to make it through in 14 days.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Intense. That's really good. Okay. So on the hardcover front, what should we talk about today? Did you have anything in mind?
Um, I was the only thing that was on my mind was kind of talking about the component library. But if you have anything else, that can also wait. But anything on your
Yeah,
mind?
no, we can definitely talk about that. I started going through that doc. So, to get a little bit of context for everyone watching, uh, we have been building a component library for hardcover that will make it significantly easier for us to deliver features. Because right now, many of the things that we work on, because that's the way it goes, we've built from scratch, and I'm guessing that would put faster pace of us being able to deliver and higher consistency. So you'll be seeing the same elements on the site throughout the site, and we're trying to tidy that up because one of the problems is that there's a difference between design. So we use Figma for design. The components are in Figma, and the way components are coded on the website. So we have uh, like what's it called, gap, or like
Yeah,
this.
a
They're not in
drift.
sync. A drift, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're out of sync. There's a drift there, and we have to keep that in check. Even though we're a small startup, and there's not like many people working on the same components, it can get incredibly like complex at times.
Yeah, yeah. There's and a lot of the pages were made before we had like Figma as well. So a lot of them were kind of we're kind of doing that normalization step now, and yeah, that'll like I'm excited about what it'll mean because right now every single page kind of has its own little style quirks, and there's very little reuse. So yeah, I'm very pro with us normalizing it because it's going to make maintenance and development of new pages and even fixing bugs just a lot easier.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
From one
so
point of view, I was curious about fixing bugs because I had like this instinct that okay, having the components basically, does it allow you to pin or to isolate the errors that might be related to that component better if we have everything as a component, or what's the actual help there? I was always wondering how
it
that translated.
it would mostly be for it would mostly be for style and normalization. Like if we realize that like um, the the color we use for like a secondary color, like an offset color, is it's instead of being white and black for light and dark mode, it's like gray 200 on dark and gray 700 on light, and we want to change that color across the site. Right now we hard code that color basically everywhere. So changing that color means going in and finding everywhere we have text that's secondary and changing that color. While if we have a component that's just like text variant secondary, then we change that color in one spot and it changes it across the site. So mostly it's that normalization part, and the bugs often come in where like maybe we didn't include what the light mode color should be at one spot, and so there's a bug on that page because we're not taking into account light mode. While if we use the component, we would always be taking into account dark and light mode.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Okay, nice. Well, should we jump in the
Yeah.
dock?
Or do you want to start in Figma and
Yeah, that's perfect. Let me share the screen. Okay. So here we go. So this is the
Mm-hmm.
component library we have in Figma right now. Uh, these are the, I guess, primitives that we've been using to build all of these pages. So all of these are components, these are avatars. Figma makes it like really easy to uh, make variants out of design elements. So this is a title, this is a cover. You can change the size of the cover, and these would be reflected on the actual code on the website as well. These are some tabs, so everything you see there, you can see here. Um, and yeah, this some of them had light mode and dark mode, some of them don't, which I'm supposed to fix really soon. And we've also got some more complex components, which are components that are based off components. So you see an avatar here, these are the headers, this is the footer of the website, this is the nav bar. So this is how we're building everything, and this is how it's organized. uh, and right now we have to see which of these are actually used on the website, which is, let's see, it was here somewhere. Here we go. Um, yeah, so we have all of these. Sorry if you hear something in the background, that's my cat destroying its cat grass for some reason. Uh, oh well, she sometimes does that. uh yeah, so we have the buttons, we have the call outs, and I started putting some of the things we have in Figma over here. I actually wanted to
Mm-hmm.
ask, how is it better to list these? Because the way I did it is I put the HTML element over here, and I also included the potential props for that according to how they're laid in Figma. So, for instance, for a tag might or might not have an icon. It might be dismissible or not. So, for instance, if you added that tag yourself as a user, I'm guessing it could be
Mm-hmm.
dismissible. It could be set to have some sort of privacy. So, for some tags that appear in some places, you might want to set that. It could also have this number. So, let's say the tag is used on a book, it would show how many people tagged that book with that specific tag. So, the way I was thinking of doing it is actually having all of these props correspond to all of these, but this of course might not mean or might not be like the best way to treat them in code. So yeah, I'm hoping you, Adam, can tell me if this is actually like useful, or uh, we should just like put them the way they are. So just tag.
Yeah, we'll probably have like one that's just tag, and it maybe has like the yellow variant and the gray variant, which would probably be like normal and I don't know, active, whatever the yellow one we call,
Mm-hmm.
maybe accent. Keep it with our other one,
Oh yeah.
and then we create another component called like book tag, and book tag takes in a tag element, and that tag element would have the icon, it would have the count, it would have um, the spoiler, and then maybe it could have it could take in children, so it would take in like the actual children and one of those children could be the close button. That way the close button
Hmm.
is managed by the person who uses the tag rather than the tag itself.
Okay, that makes sense. So okay, that's perfect. Is it any help if I put these in here, or I was thinking, yeah, the same. It could be like it could have a default, but yeah, what you're describing is definitely like the way to do it. So maybe I could just like write tag here, and you can come in and yeah, figure out how we'd actually do it.
Yeah, yeah, that works.
Okay, that's perfect. For all of these options, I'm thinking so for the text, we have the colors and we have the sizes. Uh, these I should get in Figma. I'm assuming so. Uh, these correspond to the colors we're using. So for should we use the description on the button for all the colors in general? So primary, secondary, tertiary, accent, warning, and ghost.
Yeah,
What do you
I'm
think?
done with that. And use yeah the buttons as kind of the default. So that I mean that way when we see primary, we know it means like purple on dark mode and light mode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it's confusing to have primary and accent? That was the only thing that
Mm.
struck me as okay. If we have primary, when are we going to use accent? Uh,
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to remember where in the code base we actually use accent. Let me get an example of that just so I can
yeah.
have something in my mind.
Uh huh. I'm trying to find it in
Let's
the
see.
actual designs. So everybody, look at the hardcover designs.
Um, so
So I'm
like on
using it. Yeah.
the yeah, I was gonna say on the air lists we use it for the controls, and yeah, we use it for the book button.
Okay.
I think that makes sense. It's kind of like it's it's more secondary than accent,
Yeah, I know.
like
Secondary
by
kind of
definition.
exactly. Yeah,
But I
we're
guess
not
I guess
using.
secondary works too. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah, I was gonna say that we're not really using this color scheme, or I haven't used it because I didn't find like a place for us to use it. But I think it works. Yeah, we can use like the light gray as the secondary, uh, you know, definition of our color scheme. Tertiary is basically like the most subtle one, and I'm guessing this would switch on light mode. So this would become
Mm,
slightly darker and this slightly lighter, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I
I
was
think
also
that's
think,
about-
I was also thinking of maybe adding a green one for confirmation. What do you think? That was the only thing. So having confirmation here. Do you think that's see? Whoop. Here we go. Maybe a darker shade. No, just leave it like that. And instead of this red, go with a dark gray. Instead of this gray, go with a dark one. What do you think?
um,
Confirmation.
yeah. I'm wondering if we need that or if we can just use the primary for like a confirm, depending on the context.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
Let's
it's
just use the
yeah,
primary. Yeah, let's just use the primary. I think that works. You're right.
yeah, yeah. Right
Okay.
now, like in the global nav, like our buttons are tertiary, like, and then the pricing is primary as an example.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we can leave them like that. I think I'm okay with it. I made more colors for labels because I think we're gonna need a bunch of colors for labels to differentiate. For instance, I was working on the profile and I was thinking that we could use different colors for these. So yeah,
Mm,
maybe we can add green for the labels, and
mm, mhm.
it can just have, let me see how I put them here. Oh, so they're actually like green indigo. They're color coded here, so they're not. I'm guessing a label should it be primary, secondary, or uh, yeah, maybe it can be just by color, color coded.
Yeah, yeah, maybe just color code it because yeah, labels don't really have a hierarchy the same way buttons do.
Yeah. Okay. That's nice. Yeah, we can leave it like that, and yeah, all the others just have like variants. I was also working on the sliders. Maybe they could be a good addition. That's the only like element I found, and maybe we can use it for the gold component as well. I'm seeing that sometimes is broken for some reason on the app, but I'll have to search for like where it's actually broken. I've seen it a bunch of times, but I couldn't figure out how it's
Hmm.
actually doesn't show. Or I think it was a weird color that I saw. I'm just gonna flag it on GitHub. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. Um, yeah, one of the things that has come up when I've been going through a lot is like the most common thing for components is the typography. So like header titles in dark and light mode, text in light and dark mode, and links that are not buttons in light and dark mode. And especially the links because we do a lot of links in different ways. I feel like when I was implementing a lot of pages, I was like, this doesn't make sense to do a different color, or I'm going to make this one a little light indigo because it seems better than white for this button or this link. And I feel like now all of those design decisions are coming back to me, and it's like, oh, we need to normalize this.
Yeah. Fully agree. How do you think we should approach this? So for the titles over here, I was thinking that they could have a default light and dark color, which would be like this gray 900 and gray 50 for light and dark. They could have a gray color, which is kind of like the tertiary uh, level, let's say, over here. The indigo could be primary, so let's just like call this tertiary. Let's call this primary, and let's call this accent. Do you think that would make sense for the titles as well? And this would be the differentiation between dark and light mode. I chose different hues, different what's it called, brightness for these, because on light mode it looks better if it's a little darker, but on dark mode it's a little too dark. So for instance, if you, let me quickly exemplify. So this is dark mode, and this is light mode. So on light mode, this seems a bit too light, and on dark mode, it seems a bit too dark. But when I do this, they stand out more ish.
Mm.
Does that make let me
Yeah.
just do a swap to, yeah, exemplify this? So it kind of looks like this. I know. Is there
Yeah.
like any notice? I feel they have more contrast, and for accessibility, yeah, we gotta have contrast. It still like retains the color, but it has more contrast. Or, I mean, actually, we could use this one for light mode as well. Now that I should have done this from the start. Let's see. So if we use like this for dark mode, so it's the lighter one, and this for light mode. Oh yeah, I think it actually works to use this for both.
I'm I'm okay either way. Like I could see the slight difference when they were the light mode was a little bit darker, but I'm up for either. For the other ones, it stands out a lot more, like for grays and accent colors. But the indigo is harder to spot the difference, and
Yeah,
it could be
and
like just 100 difference, like between 500 and 600.
yeah, that's like a subtle difference. It works for yellow as well. I chose different yellows, but I'm thinking this one works as well, the slightly warmer one. Uh, yeah, this is a bit light for light mode, so we can go like this. But what do you think of this separation? Is this what you had in mind?
I think that covers most of it. Uh, I think the big step's going to be like everywhere we use text in the mockups, setting it to one of these settings, so that way we can in the code set it to one of these settings as well, and not just just not hard coded in the code. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This looks good. And then for the links, um, I'm wondering about, like, I know you had some like more colorful link colors up top, but I wonder about using these colors for links as well, or if we need to do additional ones.
Well, you can. I think we can use like these colors for links as well. I'm not seeing like why we shouldn't. So yeah, I guess we could definitely do this. So it's primary, accent, secondary, and or secondary and tertiary,
Hmm.
and these we just remove. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's probably good, and maybe a warning one too for. Well, no,
Oh yeah,
I don't think we need a warning one actually, because the warning one's probably going to be a button rather than a
yeah, it
actual
could
link.
be. Maybe we have delete or remove, or yeah,
Mm,
it's actually gonna be a button, or we can just leave it there. Maybe we need,
yeah,
maybe we don't. It can be just like sitting there, and it can follow uh, the same pattern. And maybe we can add the ghost one as well, since we have it there. So ghost is disabled for like all intents and purposes, right?
yeah.
Should we name it disabled, or should we leave it as ghost?
Um,
I mean, ghost
I think
sounds
Ghost
pretty
works.
okay.
It
Sounds
just
pretty neat.
sounds cool.
So
Yeah,
yeah, okay. So ghost it is. Yeah, this is looking good, and we can keep the same system in every place.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. I think some of the common ones I've been seeing for the site have been like at the top of like the prompts page, the top of the list page. We do something where we have like an icon in the header, and then we have a paragraph description about what the page is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and maybe like even that could be like a component of components for like what it means to be the header of a page.
This one, right?
Yeah.
So for prompts, I was thinking that to actually like have it just as a title. So this would be like the title base. So it would be our serif font, and it would maybe not have an icon. I'm thinking, it's. I made it the same throughout the site. I made it this way because some pages had icons, some pages didn't have icons, and I was thinking that it would be better to keep it consistent. So if we don't put an icon, so for instance on the recommended books pages, uh, we could either put an icon there or like take out the icons, but I feel it's a little bit more consistent if we either use or don't use the icon on all pages, on all titles. What do you think about that? And like, feel free to disagree. It just felt that way to me when I was designing it.
I do like the consistency of having like an icon next to them. Uh, hmm. Or, I like having it all the same too. Like whether we have it for all of them or don't have it for all of them. I think I like having it though.
Okay, well, that's good. So, for instance, that means we should find an icon for each like page, and yeah, we can definitely do that. Um, I was thinking, let's say for genres, let's take this example. I'm guessing we could just like go on. Where is it? Here it is. Cookie. Uh, this genre. Let's see if they have something. Uh,
Like because we have the Explorer dropdown in the header, and we could have them use the um, same icon as that, or like the
oh yeah, that's
Explore
right.
page. So
Yeah,
whatever we use on this page, we could also use on the individual pages.
genres. Okay, it's the hat. Ah,
Yeah,
here's
but
this book.
we could. Oh yeah,
Hat. Hat wizards. For these icons, would it be okay to use the duotone? I really like the duotone better than the line icons because they have a little bit of, I don't know, depth, I guess, to them. But that might just be me. I like the two color thing.
yeah,
I feel like it pops a bit more, and it's like pretty subtle. I also used like a gray to make the actual title uh, pop out more. Let's see if I actually like add it at the end, if that works better. Genres. Yeah, just add it at the top, at the start.
yeah,
Yeah, that looks good. I mean,
yeah,
if we put it everywhere, let's put it on lists as well. Which is the ones for lists? Is it list? Go on hardcover. Oh yeah, it's actually a list. And I'm guessing we have to normalize the icons as well. There are some places where we're using different icons, I think, which
yeah. I've
is,
noticed that too.
yeah, it might be me because, I know specifically I've changed some icons and we might have like both worked on different sets of icons for the layouts. But yeah, that's okay. So no padding, and let's just make this into an auto layout and put an 8 on it. So yeah, it looks good. I mean, we can keep the icons, but let's add them on every page.
Yeah, and on a page like this prompts page, uh, like right now we have like a little thing that says what prompts are. I'm wondering about like how what you think about that.
Yeah, we could keep that. I was actually okay. So I did a little bit of changing that. Yeah, it can definitely appear underneath. I think I made this page like this because yeah, it aligned with the others. But yeah, if we just put that text, let me get that prompts texts. Boom, 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 prompts. Here we go. and it would be like a secondary piece of text.
Yeah. So in Figma, is there a way to say like this text right here is like a text component with certain parameters?
Yes, but this is basically right now styled according to the tailwind components. So I think we could make like a secondary component. So we'd have this as a component, create component. So this is like text, and we'd have so this is the actual text, and here you can, yeah, say what's the context of this, and you can style it. So this like default text is uh, really light, and then you can add variant to the text where you say color, and this one is default. Let me make this so that, okay, why is it doing that? Oop. Wait, this shouldn't be an auto layout. Why is it? Oh well, I have to actually figure out what's going on over there. But yeah, anyway, this is the way you do it, and then you add another component, and this is color too, and it's like this. So when you take it out, this is the text sample, so you can actually write like any text here, and you can change the color. So it's either the default one or the secondary one, and you can add more components. So this is like the primary, and the primary is indigo, and then you can have another variant here, which is theme and light, and this is the light theme, and you can make copies of all of these. Whoop. Let's see, and then select dark, and it's a dark theme, and for dark mode, yeah, this actually turns into dark text, this actually turns into slightly grayish text, and this basically remains the same. So when you change the mode here, this is basically like exactly like the website, right?
Mm, nice. Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
okay, that's cool. I'm gonna
Because
do that for all the text options so
yeah,
that it's easier because we don't have any text.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that would be
actually.
awesome. Because yeah, then when I'm going through the Figma prototypes, it'll be a lot easier for me to look at text and very easily say, like, oh, this text is this variant, this size, and this. Yeah, actually, I think those are the two big things: variant and size for text,
Mm-hmm.
and and
Okay.
having and having those use our um, component library variants and component library size rather than having Tailwind colors and size in there will make it, yeah, a ton easier for me to implement those pages for sure.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah. Well, I'll switch everything to that then. The size is basically the tailwind size, so
Yeah,
it's yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's
yeah,
actually great. One of the last details, text. The titles are, yeah, these. And I was thinking, we have headings, but maybe we can also have the title component. So it's not just a heading, it's a title. Would that make sense? Or would you rather have it tied to a heading? So this could be like uh, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5.
yeah, yeah. I think right now, I created a heading component which always uses the serif font. And then if we wanted to have just like text that used the serif font, we could add a variant to the text component, which would be like
Okay.
variant, I don't know, or yeah, probably like variant title or something like that. Variant
Okay. I,
serif.
that's good, but I'm guessing. I mean, in the designs, I had like a pretty easy job to just use all of these sizes, so I didn't feel the need like I to have like regular text in the serif fonts. So this would be if we had like six headings with these uh, mm, yeah, with these attributes, I think they would cover pretty much every case. I mean, that's what I've used
I
throughout
think so.
the. So there would be no need to actually like have texts be in the serif font at all. We can just keep that for
Yeah.
titles.
Yeah. So if you see a serif font, it's going to be a heading of some level.
Yeah. Does it make sense from an SEO perspective? So, for instance, we have here title SM, and the title SM would correspond to an H5. Are there cases where we'd want this to be like an H whatever, 3, 2?
Yeah, we would probably want that to be an H2. So maybe we have the size and the heading level as different things you can pass in.
So this is size Excel and level H2. So you could have
Yeah,
like the size base and level H2.
exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, let's keep it separate. We want that good SEO.
Yeah. I having all those headers, uh, like that's one thing we're definitely not doing very much today. Like we have H1s, but we don't have like a good H2 structure, a good H3 structure. So yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of potential like H2 to H4s on some pages,
Yeah.
and we can definitely find more.
Yeah, especially on the book page now with the redesign, there's going to be so many sections to it. Some of those
Yeah.
headers will potentially be like even SR only
Yeah.
because don't even show them. Um,
Nice.
cool. Well, yeah, I think this is going well. Right now. I'm like still converting all the pages from the pages directory to use the app directory. But after that's kind of wrapped up, uh, I'm kind of like on the fence on if I should start converting existing pages to use components or just like implement the new book page using components. And that'll be like the first page that's like 100% componentized. And then we can start implementing components on the rest of the site after that. And I'm leaning towards that way, but I'm curious what
Yeah,
you think.
that's a good approach. I'd say, yeah, we should definitely do that because the book page has lots of things on it. And yeah, right now it's using components. I'm going to make the texting the components as well. So yeah, it's all nice and dandy. And yeah, we can then use components for everywhere else. It's going to be easy, especially if we implement things like this, because this is like how we're showing things on all pages right now. So the reusability just for like this uh, way of showing the shelf is huge. So
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah, definitely a good approach. Yeah, good thinking on that one.
cool. Yeah. Um,
There's also these tabs. If we get all of these implemented, yeah, it's gonna be like really easy to shift all the other pages, and the app is gonna look a whole lot different.
yeah. I've uh, I've implemented the tabs component in the new or as a component. So at least like so far, like as I'm implementing pages to the new app directory, they're all using the same tab styles.
Nice.
So at least we'll have one place to change it all.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect. That's music to my ears.
Cool. Yeah,
Great.
I just can't wait to implement this page. Like I keep like pushing myself back from it. Like, no, you need to get the app directory and the new search out first, and then you can work on the book page.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
That's a good sign. But yeah, definitely the search is going to be important as well. So I'm definitely encouraging search as well. I know some people have been waiting for it. I think our search currently has some issues. So just replacing it with the new search is going to be a real like breath of fresh air because the new search works so great. So it's going to be like a huge
Yeah.
improvement. Yeah.
Yeah. I I think the current search got is getting slower like as time goes on, while the new search won't. Um, yeah, cool.
Great.
Well,
Wow. Yeah, it's been a good
anything
session.
else you want to chat about?
No, I think we're good. We're good. We have lots of things to work on. I'll continue working on the designs and getting this library aligned so that it's easier for us to push stuff in the future. And yeah, it's looking great. I mean, lots of stuff to do.
Nice. And I started posting all of the hardcover lives that we've had in the past on the hardcover blog. So now they're all on there. Everyone's linked on YouTube. And I think like this one, for instance, will go out on Wednesday. So I'm trying to do like a cadence of we record on Mondays, release on Wednesdays.
Nice. Yeah, that's really good. And shout out to everyone. If you want to appear on the hardcover live, you can definitely message us. And we are eager to like talk to you if you're like in the book space, if you're interested in books, if you're interested in tech, if you're interested in how to link books with AI, if you're an author, if you're like a really like eager reader, come and talk to us. These sessions, this is what they're for, and we're also using them to build stuff live. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good distinction. Like most of the time it's us just building hardcover, but it could also mean us talking with users. It could also mean us talking with authors or people. It's really about learning more about the people who could use hardcover, talking with other people in the book space to better understand them, and sometimes building.
yeah, exactly. That's great. Perfect. Well, on that note, should we wrap up hardcover number 15? I got it right.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Cool.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
talk to you
have a
next
good
week,
one.
State.
See ya. Bye
Bye.
bye, everyone.